So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another thrilling, scintillating, exciting episode of Shoestring Acres, where austerity and nature collides. Okay, I'm really excited about this one today. I'm going to make for you Weight Watchers USA, and as usual, Weight Watchers puts their recipes online for everybody to go and see. This is the Weight Watchers. So I'm not copywriting anything. Okay, so basically, this is the cheeseburger crunch wrap. Okay, so this made me really excited because, I mean, I like cheeseburgers and I also like crunch wrap supremes from Taco Bell. So just kind of, I had an idea of this formulating in my head, and it really made me excited when I saw it. Because you know you're going to have all the tastiness of your cheeseburger, but with the crunch of the Taco Bell crunch wrap. So you've got this wonderful medley, this coupling of interracial fusion in your mouth. No. Okay, so moving along, this is 6 personal points per serving, but always, as usual, go on and check in your Weight Watchers account that it will actually cost you 6 personal points. Okay, let me read a little bit of the blurb. This cheesy beef wrap is quite a handful. It's stuffed full of the elements you love in a classic burger: ground beef, mustard, onions, cheese, pickles, tomatoes, and lettuce. You'll probably have to cook the wraps in batches unless you have a very large cast iron skillet. Keep toasted wraps warm in an oven set to 175 degrees Fahrenheit as you work through the batches. Arrange them pleated side down on a foil lined pan to help them hold their shape. If your tomato is particularly seedy, go ahead and discard some of the seeds before chopping to help prevent your wrap from becoming soggy. So it says this is an easy, like the level of this difficulty for doing this is easy, but I have tried to make a crunch wrap supreme before, and it was a little bit, you know, food origami going on there, and I mean, I think I succeeded, but it was fiddly. So I wouldn't really say that this is an easy recipe, but you know, we'll see how it goes. So without further ado and without further shenanigans and me prattling on, let's get on with the recipe. Let's get the ingredients ready. Just before we go on, something amazing happened to me today. Well, it's not really amazing. It's probably something that New York City dwellers and people who live in cities and urban areas take for granted, but this was my first time. I ordered groceries online and they were here. I mean, I want to say like within an hour and a half, and I didn't have to leave the store. This was amazing. Jennifer, the nice girl that she is, went to ShopRite for me, picked up my items, and then delivered it to my door. So this was like extra great. Yes. No coffee today because it's sweltering hot, so I have my sugar-free drink. Okay. Let's, I just want to show you something. Let's flip the camera. The recipe calls for 5 wraps. I'm not really a wrap expert, but I just know that I really cannot handle eating another Olay Extreme Wellness wrap. I just find it depressing, so I'm going to give these 2 a go. They're both the same points each. They're both low carb, like the recipe calls for. So I'm going to give them both a go. And you know, I'm going to do the taste test on those. Okay, so you will need 1 cup of iceberg lettuce, dill gherkins. Let's go over here. Dill gherkins, 8 teaspoons finely chopped. Okay, you need your tomatoes, 1 cup chopped, 50% reduced fat sharp cheddar cheese. I put a bit of this in my mouth earlier on. and it was disgusting. So let's hope it improves with the recipe. I'm just trying to keep this real for you, okay? I'm just hoping that all these ingredients go together and you actually have something that tastes good, because, you know, the beef cancels out the plastic chicken. But this is actually real cheese, so, but it's just no fat. Okay, uncooked onions, half a cup, 8 teaspoons of mustard, and then your usual cooking spray, etc. 12 ounces of extra lean ground beef, 90 per 6, my gosh, help me, 96% lean, 4% fat, and I think that's about it for the ingredients. Okay, if I say okay one more time during this video, well, no, I'm not going to give you anything. Okay, so let's get the instructions. Oh no, don't try and speak French. Heat a large cast iron skillet over medium heat. Place 1 tortilla wrap on a cutting board and spray on both sides with cooking spray. Oh yeah, I got the olive oil cooking spray now because I'm not really okay with the pan. Cut tortilla wrap into quarters. Arrange quarters in pan and cook until toasted and crisp, about 1 minute per side. Cool to room temperature. So let's do that. Okay, so that's almost a minute on one side. And you flip them over and do the other side for 1 minute. So the instructions, remember, they say till toasted and crisp, but not burnt. Okay, then you're going to remove them from the heat and you're going to let them cool. Then you're going to return your cast iron skillet back to a medium heat, back to the stove, and you're going to spray one of your tortillas with some cooking spray. Okay. Then the instructions say flip the tortilla over so the sprayed side is down. Okay, and you're going to spread 1 teaspoon of mustard over the center of tortilla. So let me get a teaspoon. See, a proper chef would have had the teaspoon ready. Here we go, 1 teaspoon of mustard. Okay, over the center of tortilla. Okay, so that's pretty much the center, right? Okay, then you spoon about half a cup of the beef mixture into the center of the wrap. So I've got half a cup measurer over here. Okay, and pop that in over here in the center of the wrap. All right, what's next? Leaving a 1.5 inch border. Yeah, I think that's about 1.5 inches. Layer with 1/4 cup of cheese. So this is the equivalent of 1/4 cup of cheese. Over here. 1/4 cup of tomato. I'll have to eyeball this, but this is a half cup here. Yeah. Half of a half. Okay. Ooh. This is a little bit mountainous now, but let's work with the recipe. It's what it tells us to do. 2 teaspoons of the pickles. 1, 2. And half a cup of lettuce. Here we have half a cup. A bit more. Okay. Again, we're really going to have to squash this down. Ooh, and then place 1 toasted tortilla quarter on top. is one I made earlier. As she dangles her hair into it. Okay, now carefully fold sides of tortilla over filling towards the center, creating pleats to cover the toasted tortilla quarter. Okay. Yeah, I think this is, I think this wrap is a little bit overstuffed, but we'll give it a go. Next one, we're not going to stuff as much. Okay. But it's okay. I mean, it's okay if, you know, the first one never normally works out. I mean, have you noticed whenever you make crepes or pancakes, the first one, it's just always the problem child. It just never works out. And then you get your flow going, right? So press gently to fold pleats. Yes, like it's so easily. Carefully flip wrap over and place in heated skillet. So let me transport my not very well folded origami over to the pan. And as suspected, it expanded, it fell apart. Let's have a look. There it is. We'll do better on the next one. So it says cook until toasted and crisp, about 2 minutes per side. Okay, we'll see what happens. You can see it. Look at it over there. Oh, where is it? Oh, splitting weird. And this is what happened when I flipped it. It's kind of, yeah. But let's just keep on going, and we won't overstuff the next one. So this is good. I'm doing this for you, so you don't have to do it yourself and make the same mistakes. Okay, so this is the next one, and this is the Mission Carb Balance once. And what I did, if you can see, I just sprayed all around the edges with some Pam spray, hoping, well, not Pam, with my olive oil spray, in the hope that it will help it stick. Okay, so here they are, and I've got one cooking in there, and I'll give you a tip after I've done the taste tests as to how to make them fold up. But there is a trick to it, and if you don't obey it, then I think you're going to have problems like I did over here. Okay, so this is the first one that I made that, you know, failed. But we'll see if it fails a taste test. Now this was the wrap that I made with the Tomorrow's carb-wise ancient grain wrap. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It's actually got kind of good texture. It seems sort of quite pliable. It doesn't seem like those, you know, those, but you know those Olay wellness wraps that, no, that just don't taste, it's just depressing for me to eat those. This doesn't have that same stiff texture, but let's do the taste test and actually see what it tastes like. Okay. Yeah, they're really nice wraps. So I am pleased with that. And it does taste like a cheeseburger. And a Crunch Wrap Supreme got together, forgot about all the social norms, and decided to live happily ever after. And look. And they even started reproducing already. Okay, so let's put this one down. And the second one here, look at this perfect model child. Okay, crispy like you would get there, but it's not burnt. ignore it. Okay, so let's do it. This is now with the Mission Carb Balance wraps. Let's give it a go. Also good. Yeah, I mean, they're both good. So if you go to the store and you get either of those wraps, they're both going to be the same amount of points, and you know, they taste pretty much the same. Okay, let me give you some tips. The recipe, the instructions say that you need, look at me getting all worked up already. The instructions say that, yeah, doing the head bubble, that you need half a cup of meat mixture. All those things that they tell you to stuff it with, it's just too much, and it just explodes. So I just used about a third of a cup of the chopped meat mixture, chopped meat onion mixture, instead of half a cup, because it's just ridiculous. They're only small tortillas, and then you got to add in all the other things on top. The other thing that I also did was I did end up pulling out the seeds from the tomatoes and just using the fleshy part of the tomato, even though I love the seeds. I have kept them for further use. It's so hot here, oh my gosh. And the other tip is, don't, when you assemble them, don't be afraid to, you know, once you've done your pleats and your folds, don't be afraid to squash them down with your fist. Give it a good, you know, show it who's in control. You are in control of the wrap. It doesn't control you, because otherwise it's just going to fall apart. And remember to spray the outer edge. Weight Watchers, you need to know this. Tell people to spray the outside of the edge. So it's like a glue. It's like an olive oil or Pam spray glue. And the other thing is, don't cook it for 2 minutes each side on medium. That was too much. I just did mine for a minute each side, and the cheese melted. If you're using, especially if you're using a cast iron pan, they really do hold heat and disperse it well. So yeah, I think 1.5 max minutes per side. But if you like, my husband, he likes a little bit more of a, he likes it when I burn things, you know, I thought I would put on the compost heap. He's like all excited over it. So if you're kind of person that likes to have, you know, a little bit more of a rustic, I just gag thinking about it because it's just depressing to me. But if you like that kind of thing, then cook it for 2 minutes, because it will end up looking, you know, this is the first one. Let's get it out. It will end up looking a bit burnt like that around the edges. Okay, so I'm gonna go away now in a corner and eat these. Well, eat one of them. And yeah, I mean, it worked out. It was a good recipe. Will I make it again? Yes. Out of 10 points, I would give this, taste wise, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10, which isn't bad because I'm a tough scorer, I'm a tough judge. But in terms of the recipe and being able to follow that recipe, you need to just watch this again, or write down the notes and do what I said, because it will just, you just saw me do it in front of you. I followed the instructions exactly, and that's what happened. So you do need to tweak the recipe a little bit, and then you have to amend your points, because, you know, let me just show you. Oops. I have all of this leftover chopped meat because I couldn't fit it in. You know, this was 12 ounces that they ask you to use, and I couldn't fit it in. So now I have to go back and do some math and work out how much actually this does cost per wrap. And I'll put that in the comments. I'm actually going to be quite detailed about this one because Weight Watchers kind of failed here. But okay, you know, they're only human, and they still have really great recipes, and you still should do the plan and give it a try if you're sitting on the fence. It's just, it was just one of those things. Okay, well, thank you for watching Shoestring Acres, and thank you for watching my video today. And I pretty much every day or every other day, depending on how busy I am, bring out a recipe and film it. And I've just noticed my camera, I think, is sideways, but never mind. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much.
Remember, God made you special, and He loves you very much. Bye!